Good day, viewers, and welcome to another exciting episode on Moments with PJ. My name is Chinasa Omerugo Elizabeth, and I remain your anchor for today's episode. Today, we shall be talking about an interesting topic that talks about how we can create a family budget as couples in a family. Before we proceed, I would like us to understand that when we create family budget as couples, it helps us maintain stability. It helps you manage your cost. It helps you don't overspend. You know, okay, this is what I have for this particular purpose. This is what I should have for the next particular purpose. And you don't just buy things out of impulse. Today we have with us here our guest in person of PJ, who is going to assist us in shedding more light, assisting us in emphasizing more on the tips we have for today's topic. PJ, you're welcome to today's episode.
Thank you, Chinasa.
Thank you so much. It's always nice having you on the program.
Thank you.
First of all, sir, as family or as a couple in that are married, definitely we overlook some certain things when it comes to finance
Yeah.
in the family. As a wife, I would use example of a wife who is a stay-at-home mom, who is not working, just the husband is working and bringing in the money. Most of them, in quotes, they might not even know what their husband earns. But because they don't have this idea of, okay, this is what my husband is earning, they don't know how to manage their requests when it comes to expenses
Yeah.
in the family. So I want us to emphasize more on how we can best track our expenditures as a couple. We know that when we write out things we need in the
Yeah.
family, when it comes to toiletries, it comes to food, comes to transportation, even the children's school fees. When we itemize these things, we'll be able to know, okay, I earn 50,000 naira. I should put my child in probably a school that I can pay 20,000 naira per term or thereabout. But if the wife is not in the picture of all of these things, she tends to,
Unhealthy demand.
yes, unhealthy demands, high demands. And the husband would just keep asking himself, oh, why is this woman asking me such questions? But
Hmm.
forgetting the fact that he has not shared, okay, this is what I earn.
That's
So
true.
please, sir, I want you to assist us. Let's
Talk.
converse on this
Yes.
how we can track our expenditures as a couple.
Yeah, Chinasa, you've actually hit the nail on the head. There is a need for that financial conversation. And for me, that conversation should be before the marriage itself.
Okay, sir.
Okay. There should be a form of understanding. Why? Because our financial discussion will give birth to our financial decisions.
That's
And
true.
it's going to tell the kind of family we want to run.
Definitely.
Everything about our quality of life is revolved around our financial decisions. And there is no way you can leave one party out. And so the decision should be between the two of them. No matter how little the money is,
Yes.
have a financial conversation.
Yes.
The decision should be based after the conversation. For example, the quality of school my children should attend should be discussed.
Yes.
And so if the couple discuss their long-term goals, it's going to help them go through the discipline needed to achieving their goals.
Definitely.
Do you understand?
Yes.
So for me, I agree with you totally. There is the need for that conversation. Again, you test which I like. The woman can only help you based on number of information available to her.
Yes.
All right. So there is the possibility a woman wants to be a woman. She wants to look good. She wants to make her hair every week. She wants to buy a new dress every second week. So, but if you have a conversation, of course, she will know that okay, my demand can be placed on hold
Yeah.
because you have this and this and this as our plan. You've been mentioning food, coffee, and all that. For me, family finances should be divided into two:
Okay.
the fixed and the variable.
Okay.
There are daily obligations, there are monthly obligations, and then there are variables. Like feeding, for example, is fixed. Any responsible man should make food available for his wife and children.
Children.
It is fixed. The children's school fees, they are fixed. Housing is fixed. Going to partying is variable. Changing our car in every 6 months is variable.
Variable.
Okay, so financial decisions we discuss amidst this. There's also the need for expenses and assets. Okay, let us save a particular amount in every month so you can acquire a land. It becomes an asset. Because if you are always spending and there are no assets, tomorrow you'll be a liability to yourself. Now, all of this cannot be except as a financial conversation. Yes.
Thank you so much, sir. This last explanation brings me to my next tip on what I want us to discuss about. We talked about like going on a vacation.
Yes.
Sometimes as a wife
Yes.
or as either of the couple, they have this mindset of, okay, let's go somewhere, probably let's go to the US or the UK, and probably at the long run they now have a cost strain that could no longer afford them going that far,
Okay.
and they are settling for either going to an African country. Now, if at those points they now have to re-strategize, and the wife is also saying, no, let's still save, let me bring my own money, let's save, let's do it, we must go to that US. Is it healthy?
Now, that was why I said our financial discussion should be about fixed, variable, and assets. Every family should work towards getting assets before the termination of their lifespan so they can leave inheritance for their children.
Yeah.
Assets is key. So if a woman understands this conversation from the onset, Chinasa, I think she will be willing to sacrifice. So there's going to be a case of short-term sacrifice for a long-term
Long-term.
gain.
Yes.
So when a woman has had this conversation with her spouse and she's still insisting, knowing the financial implication, economic downtime, and she's still insisting on going to the Bahamas, all right, which means she wants to truncate the future for the immediate. So she's not futuristic in view. That becomes a problem. Okay. And I don't expect any sensible man to actually do that, except the man can afford it, and then she believes the man is coming up with one or two excuses and not to do that. Again, it is boiled down to the mode of communication and transparency too. But honestly, when we set out to have a goal, for example, I and Chinasa decide to buy this table in 3 months. Okay? And I'm an Arsenal fan. Arsenal is playing Champions League final. We've not played for over 10 years. And I said, please, dear, I want to travel to the UK to watch my darling Arsenal. But we both agree that we have this to buy. Now, what we're going to do, I'm going to weigh. In economics, it's called opportunity cost.
The ones I need.
You get the point? So we're going to weigh side by side, which is more important. The family demands, which have been projected from time past to elapse in 3 months, and Arsenal to go and watch us. So we're going to weigh them, all right? But whichever way, family comes first. And so I should sacrifice my love for my darling team so we can achieve our family goals. Sacrifice is key.
That's very true, sir. You keep directing me to my next discussion.
So I'm going to find you for that.
My next topic of discussion. Now, when we talk about prioritizing our needs over wants, you made mention of an
opportunity
example.
goals, yes.
Yes, the table, traveling to watch your football, your fun.
Don't do Arsenal like this. We are not common.
So now I want us to deliberate on this. When it comes to this situation or a case scenario where we have essential needs and we have discretionary spending, because you traveling is discretionary.
Yeah, of course.
It's something you can put on hold for
Certainly.
a long time.
Certainly.
Now I want you to help us educate our viewers when they find themselves in this kind of scenario with their husband.
Yeah.
How should they navigate? How should they change their
Chinasa,
mentality?
I must warn. When it comes to football and my gender, we should be careful how you tread on it. Don't be surprised the man can put your suspension while
Seriously?
Oh yes, yes. So once it is football, in fact, it's not a better case study, honestly. Because I can tell you 90% of us would rather go watch a Champions League final with Arsenal, who has been suffering from near success syndrome, and suddenly they're in the finals. I will also go, with all due respect. I will also go.
And I want to ask you the question: will you go, sir?
Yes, I will go. Yes, I will go. Yes, okay.
And you leave your wife's the discussions you've had with your wife.
Do you know why? Do you know why I will go?
Why would you go?
Arsenal has not won the trophy since about 14 years. They're in the finals. If they win in my absence, it'll be a problem. It is better I go because the next time they will win it maybe when I'm in my 80s.
So what if they don't win while you go?
It is
What would
better
you
I
do?
take the gamble and they win.
Then you come back and it will be a mockery to
I
you
will apologize to my wife that they'll be at my home in my house and watch on the television and see. There's something the TV doesn't capture. It's called atmosphere.
Mm.
You need to be there.
Mm.
Do you understand? I'd rather go with my wife.
Sir, but with all honesty.
Now, but on a serious note, we should look at our value.
Mm-hmm.
Our value and our purpose should determine our spending.
Mm.
All right?
Yeah.
We should be purpose driven. Most of us, we act on impulse.
Yes.
Impulse buy is a product of immature mind.
Mm.
Yes.
Do you think so, sir?
Yes, of course I know. I know you do that a lot.
What about you? Probably you're going somewhere, places like you have to be there in the next 2 years.
Yes.
And you're opportune to get there at that time.
Yeah.
And you see, oh, this thing, I like this thing. I would want to have this, and I know before I can see something like that again, might be my time next time coming in the next 2 years.
Chinasa,
Sir.
leave all this going somewhere. You just left your house and you're going to the office and you saw this fine handbag. You are seeing a type of it online. You just saw it. It's practical with you, ladies. Something tells you this is the limited edition. That is, after this bag, you can't see anywhere again.
Production.
So that is impulse buying. I know you're trying to paint it. You want to buy it. So this issue of go somewhere, I'll not come again after 2 years, forget all those cock and bull. Yes, I understand. It is still a sign of immaturity. It takes discipline to follow through the financial decision.
Okay.
Of course, we shouldn't be rigid with them. A little to the left, a little to the right. You will not say you are saving money, your wife want to take shawarma or Cold Stone creamy ice cream. And say, oh baby girl, no, leave Cold Stone ice cream. No. Every law is flexible. Okay? There's where you can bend the law without breaking it. So while we are working towards financial liberty, we should have all these a little bit excesses to help us solve emergencies. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Why are you laughing? You are seeing yourself in the picture.
So you just talked about a little to the left, a little to the right,
Yes.
and that's why I'm smiling because when we talk about monitoring and readjusting our budgets.
Yes, it's important to recent realities.
Yes.
You jig it.
Because
Yes.
if I get married today, 2024,
Yeah.
and in the next 2 years, 2026, something else would evolve,
Yeah.
and I should fine tune my budgets
Yes.
that have followed through. I have followed it through for the last 2 years.
Yeah.
I think there is every need to fine tune. Now there are some people.
Your financial decision must have a human face.
Okay, in what sense, sir?
That is what you're trying to say. It should be people's driven.
Okay.
That you made a decision 2 years ago, and the reality is on you today. It is not circumstance.
Mm-hmm.
Your even budget is flexible. There's need for the flexibility.
Mm-hmm.
That's I getting my point.
Yes.
You will not be so rigid to your decision to affecting a life. May God forbid evil. You intend saving a particular amount every month because you want to achieve something in 2 years, and there is a need, for money because a loved one is taken to an accident, emergency, and you say no. No, I can't break my principle. I have a budget. I have a goal. I have a purpose. Then you're not being human. You have the money to help a dying family member. But because of what you want to achieve, it is even selfish. You said no. So all our financial decisions should have That
Flexibility.
human face,
Yeah.
yes. Yes.
So I want you to lay emphasis on this having human face when it comes to our personal interest and the interest of our family members.
Yeah.
When we have a budget,
Yes.
probably you're already saving towards getting a
Ego.
degree
Okay.
or a goal per se.
Yes.
And this case scenario comes up, you somebody needs your assistance. You know you have it in your bank. Now when I mean bank,
But budgeted,
not bank per se.
saved.
Yeah, it's saved with a goal. Probably that budget, it's even in a fixed account. You can't withdraw, you can't make anything from it.
Yes.
And this person walks up to you, please, I need this thing.
What should you do?
What should I do?
Now, every budget Chinasa should have what they call. You're an accounting student, Abi. What's it called now? The money you don't just for unforeseen
Miscellaneous.
miscellaneous. Every budget, no matter how little it is, you should have a miscellaneous account. Why do you give him press account in an office? To run the office. The bulb can be bad. Anything you don't expect might just happen. So that miscellaneous should be there in your budget. So when you are budgeting, when you are planning your finance, you must give room for emergencies. So you don't just take your salary or your income and go put all into the bank because you want to get a degree. Then you're not being human. No human face. Okay. Now the question should be: I've exhausted the amount marked for miscellaneous, and the month hasn't ended for another batch of miscellaneous. What should I do? That should be the problem. That should be the question actually, because every budget should have it. Like 10% should be for miscellaneous.
What if
Yes.
at this point the miscellaneous I have it, but the person coming towards me
Yes.
for assistance, the miscellaneous cannot solve it, and I still have my main budget somewhere that I've been saving.
Okay. Now
Should I gather my miscellaneous spending
plus your
plus
savings.
my savings, probably my lifetime savings?
Do you have your parents alive?
I have my mom.
You have your mom,
Very well.
and your dad is gone.
Yes.
If you are planning to buy an aeroplane, you'll get one soon, have you? Don't say amen because and they just called you. Mommy went to the farm and she got bitten by the scorpion. We need 100,000. What will you do?
I'll look for 100,000.
Your mom. I say that to say this. It is difficult to break savings depending on the value we placed on who is requesting that assistance.
Okay.
Do you understand? It depends on the value you placed. It can even be a distant family member and you have miscellaneous, you say I don't have money. So it is the value we place on the persons involved that determine how far we can go to sacrificing for them. Now let us go take the thing off our talk. We have a budget. What have achieve a goal? In my budget, I have my daily obligations. I have my monthly obligations. I have my children clothing and all that. I have my wife and all that. I have everything mapped out. And I also have the one I'm saving. Then I also have my miscellaneous. Okay, it is a must. But something happened to a dear friend or a dear family member whom I value dearly. I can sacrifice a portion of my savings. He or she may not even know the sacrifice. But because of the value placed on him or her, you can touch a part, especially when life is being involved. You can do that. That is the human face. Now, but if it becomes a trend where they come to take advantage of you because they know you always sacrifice for them, then you have to be smart. Because naturally, men are users. Human being, I mean. When they notice you can open up your heart to helping them because you place value on them, they want to exploit that part of you. And so you must not accept it. You must be disciplined with your plan. Yeah.
Thank you so much, PJ, for that wonderful explanation. I want to talk about lastly when we talk about employers, our employers as
Okay.
individuals assisting us our savings, in our savings,
How?
we have this.
How do that assist us?
I'm coming there, sir.
Okay.
We have this like a financial advisor.
Okay.
We also have a situation where there is this method called utilize employer matched.
Okay.
There is the retirement account like 401. This
Okay.
is where your employer assists you from the one you're saving, or
Okay.
probably is meant to pay you 100,000. He's
Okay.
paying you a 90. This is aside your pension. It is aside your medicals.
Okay. Because I was to ask if that's what you mean.
Yes. Then you know your money is 100,000.
Okay.
How that is your net salary aside every other expenditures. Then your employer walks up to you and says, instead of giving you 100,000, let me be giving you a 90,000. The 10,000 naira should go to
A particular savings
particular
account.
savings for your retirement.
But I have my pension scheme that is meant for retirement.
Yes.
So why would that come up?
I think this would even best work when you are a government worker.
Okay.
Yes, because I know there are some
What is the
there are
benefit of doing such?
benefit of doing such now, like you mentioned miscellaneous. You
Okay.
mentioned, oh, you have an emergency. You know, sometimes even I have an account that I can't even do a transfer from.
Okay.
You have to get to the bank. What if this emergency comes through during the weekend that the bank doesn't work?
Okay.
How do you get that money you have in the bank?
Okay.
Where do you run to? Definitely it can't be from your pension because the pension takes process.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Okay, is that why we have
Yes.
things like this?
So it's more like I'm trying to figure out the word, like a cooperative,
Okay.
but it is being managed by your employer.
And the same okay, because even cooperative too, they take when you apply for monies, also take one of few
That's what I'm
days.
saying. This one is not a cooperative of members and you're
Now,
the president
because
and all.
Chinasa, I'm looking at what will my boss be doing with the 10,000 is deducting from my pay. Is he going to put it to usury? Is he making profits? If he's making profit, I'm entitled to some profits. Because 10,000 over 1 year is something. And so if he's using it to trade, I mean, I should be compensated. That's the angle I'm looking at it. Or is that what he wants to do, or just keeping this money for me because he believe I have issues managing money?
No, not even about issue. Because if you have issues managing money, it shouldn't be 10,000. You'll be taking from 100,000. Probably a goal.
But whichever way, it's a brilliant idea. If that works, it's good because we must learn to have this saving culture. Do you understand?
Yes.
We must any avenue you can have to just save one money, do it. So if a manager of a company comes up with such an idea, it's brilliant. It's really preparing them for financial liberty for the future. Honestly, it's good. It's good. There's something about money. When there is money, there will be need. I realize that. When there is no money, you can manage that need.
Definitely.
And so we should try as much as we can. That's what gave birth to cashless policies actually. When you don't have money in your hands, no impulse buying. You know, the way you just buy those, I will not tell them. Those are your things you don't plan. But when you don't have cash, you can just see this fine corn on the road, you can't buy. But if you have cash, you buy corn. You have pear, I have coconuts. You get what I'm saying? But when you don't have cash, it's cashless. You look at it, you take it to your heart,
Perceive it.
you just go.
buy.
So cashless policy is aimed at helping us to saving. So if an office comes up with that, trust me, it's a brilliant idea. We should encourage what takes money from us in saving. We should, yes.
Yes. Thank you, sir. I just wanted to lay emphasis on this explanation about employers helping their
Okay.
employees because I've seen cases like that. The boss now it happens majorly in a one-man business.
That's what I'm about saying.
Yes, they'll tell you, I think you lack financial discipline.
Let me help you.
Let me help you.
Yes. And that's a good man actually.
Let me help you.
Yes.
And they tell you your salary is 100,000, I will give you 60,000. there is nothing you can do. Do you understand? And at the long run, you see that
You
it
thank
is,
him.
yes, it's helping. It's helping you to you now micromanage
That's
everything.
remaining part, yes.
And
You
you at the
see,
end of the day, you now see that, oh,
in
this is
fact,
actually working out.
a very good financial advisor will tell you your budget after your savings.
Really?
Oh yes.
But what about the percentages? I was opportune to see. I read a book and it talked about the 50-30-20
Okay.
percentage. That's the 50% for your necessities, the
Yes.
30% for your discretionary spending, then your
Okay.
20% for savings.
Okay.
What do
Now,
you talk about that?
that is still fine
Okay.
because it's already graduated over 100. That is the base salary over 100. That's what it means. Which means now 20% of your
Savings.
salary for saving is massive.
Oh, really?
You are earning 100,000, you are saving 20. If you are earning 1 million, you are saving 200,000. So if you are earning a little amount of money, you won't value the 20%. So imagine if you are earning 2 million naira per month. How much will you saving at 20%?
That's like
400k.
100,000.
So in 1 year, 400 times 12. 4.8 million
Yeah.
in a year.
And
So
you still have the one you put in code.
of course, now those other ones, the 20% for just spendings, you may not even finish it. You understand? In Nigeria and then look among marketers, they do this local savings. The idea should be that
Like
take money away from your hand. As long as you are holding money, you are calling for a demand. Money with you is a call for demand. Do you understand that? I know we eat corn. That one is raw. That's an example. So our viewers should learn to take monies off their hands. Let us go cashless.
Thank you
And
so
this
much.
should be between the man
And the wife.
and the wife.
Should be a decision they both agree
If they are
to.
married, yes. Yes.
Thank you so much, PJ, for joining us on today's episode. So before you go, I just want you to please give us tips,
Okay.
best practice that I know you're married
Yes.
for years, the best practices you've put up over the years that has helped your finance, that has also helped you in making the good decisions in
Okay.
your family.
Yes. Chinasa, I live in Nigeria. Because of our economic situation, I yeah, it must be stated because some things are generic and some things are also geographically bound. Because of the level of my income, I first of all I placed my wife on a particular salary. When we got married, she was on a particular salary. My salary was reviewed and increased. I increased her pay.
That is where the adjustment comes in.
Yes. So as I'm increased financially, I'm increasing my wife. She has a business also. But what I call my daily obligations, my water bill, my light bill, my television subscription, all of these are factored in my budget. So when I take my salary, I give my wife her own salary, I pay her. It's my decision. It's not a
The
must.
choice.
It's my choice. This one is optional, but I chose to do that. Then, okay, based on market realities, I give my wife certain amount to run the home per month, which again is visited because I understand dynamism in the market, and so the money can get finished in 2 weeks. I understand that. I can also assist. Okay, then I set aside certain amount for my daily obligations. I know the things I spend money on averagely. I have that. Then of course I save. But my saving is not based on my needs. Like I said, I save before I plan. So if I have 200,000, I just move 70,000 for example. Then I factor the rest. So I'm going to sacrificing. As against affecting my wife's own part of her money, I put myself in a tight corner.
Okay.
Because I can navigate some things. So, and I've done that for over 10 years. I pay my wife. I have money for the house.
Running the home.
I have that. And I also have my utility bills. That is not part of the family's expenses. That is mine. Then my little spending.
Thank you so much
Yes.
for joining us on today's episode. I wish we could spend more time on this because I know you have a lot packed in for us. Have you also out there? We've all heard what our guest has enlightened us about. We've talked about how to manage, talked about saving before even planning. Have the part you want to save, then plan with what you have
Yes.
already. So I want us to, just like a tip, I want you to remember that budgeting is a process.
Yeah.
It will not just start working immediately. So you need to find time, fine tune, and balance on the part of budgeting that works for you and your family. What works for family A might not work for family B. So I just need you to be flexible in your budgeting. Till we see again, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video to families and friends and even intending couples. And have a great week. Bye bye.
Bye. Shalom greeting in Jesus' precious name.
Amen.